It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, real quick, I want to do an update. I published the second Ray's Cafe, so go to the end of the day with Ray.com, scroll down to Ray's Cafe. If you're not a member, become a member and watch the video. This second episode, I had a conversation with Wes McCarter from Next Era. This was an in-depth conversation about his data and how his data is literally saving dealers millions of dollars. So tune into that, folks. Interesting conversation me and Wes had. But ladies and gentlemen, somebody reached out to me the other day and they said, Ray, you're trying to move the dealers, the document imaging channel, into IT services. They went to my website. They're like, what the hell does Next Era, a company that, talks about helping dealers be more efficient with print services, have to do with IT? Or what does Clover Imaging have to do with IT? You're trying to help dealers get into IT services. How does Jim Sirkleski and his team over at Clover help you do that? Or how does Chris Pollock and his team at Pollock & Pollock help you do that? Folks, it's real simple. These three organizations, just three of the members on my platform, you know what? It's like they're like a big giant bank. Consider them this huge bank, and in that vault is money for dealers, and dealers just walk in there and get the money. They get the money if they do what Next Era says about how to clean up some bad behaviors, change some disciplines, follow data instead of emotional nonsense, and they could walk in that vault and grab hundreds of thousands of dollars and put it back to the bottom line. They could go in that vault if they listen to Chris Pollock when he says, quit buying OEM toner for your A3 machines. Buy our toner, and if you buy our toner, we'll save you millions of dollars. You could go in the vault and grab some money, put it to your bottom line. My good friends at Clover, they're telling the dealers the same thing. You got literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of printers inside your customers' offices. Buy those printer cartridges from us, those remanufactured A4 printer cartridges from us. Then you could go in that vault and get a whole bunch of that money and put it to your bottom line. And when you add up all the money that those three people could save you, dealers could do some interesting things. Maybe they could go hire themselves a really, really smart person around IT services or compliance. Maybe they could start doing some compliance audits because they were able to go out and hire someone for a couple $100,000 and they found the money in toner. Can you believe that? Some of these dealerships might find $1 million. $1 million between service efficiencies and toner for A3 and A4. Millions of dollars, folks. Here's the deal. We're going through a crisis in the document imaging channel. Every dealer knows they have to diversify. Every dealer knows it costs money to diversify. Why don't you work with these three people? They're like bankers. Instead of calling up your banker and taking out a loan, call up Jim Sirkleski. Call up Chris Pollock. Call up Wes McCarter. First of all, they're a lot friendlier than bankers. And second of all, you don't have to pay them interest. They give you money. They give you money because they help you find it. I asked Wes a couple of questions. Very interesting stuff. I said, Wes, look inside that World Stats database you have, the largest data in the world of print metrics, and let's pull out some A3 models that use the same toner. So he found a series from a manufacturer. They all use the same toner. There was 24,000 of these models. So think about this, 24,000 A3 machines. Those machines were running a total volume of 500 million pages per month. 500 million pages per month. They were high volume machines. They were in that 45, 50 page minute range. They were running about 20,000 pages a month. Folks, here's the deal. If those machines were using Pollock & Pollock toner instead of OEM toner, they would literally save $3.7 million a month. How much of that $3.7 million is your dealership? Is for you to go in the bank and get. Folks, that's $154 per unit per month. How many of those machines do you have in the field? You should be talking to Chris. Then I said, let's look at some HP color printer, desktop printers. We found one. We found a model 553. There was 8,000 units out there. If those units use 2 sets a year, that's 16 sets. Clover Imaging, they're going to save you at least $200 a set, folks, at a minimum. $200 a set. That saves $3.2 million a year. Add that by the month to the 3.7. That's $4 million a month just on those two items. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to start talking to people that can help us capture back some of our cost and quit worrying about what the hell the OEMs are going to say. They'll get over it. If you go out of business because you didn't diversify, If you run out of money because your volumes start dropping, what's the mean? Manufacturer going to come in? Are they going to let you walk into their big safe and give you all kinds of money? No, they're not. They'll probably just cancel you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a dealer, you should know your numbers. And when I say your numbers, know your numbers on percentages if you took it away from the OEM. If you took 20% of your printer supplies away from an OEM, what does that mean to you? What if you took 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80? If you took away 80% of the OEM toner and bought from Pollock & Pollock for your A3 and my good friend Jim Sterkleski at Clover for your A4, what would that mean to you? How much money is that? Then you could try to justify why the hell you're not doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would not worry about your OEMs because I'm sure as they start to consolidate, they're not going to worry too much about you. They're going to worry about how they're going to go to market in a future that's going to be totally different than the way it was before this pandemic. And I want my dealers that know me, my friends, you know what I want them doing? I want them to be able to pivot into IT services. And I want them to have enough money to do that just from fixing some disciplines in their current deliverable. Wouldn't that be so much better than going to the bank? Just something to think about, my friends, because we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.